If you are new here or you're watching from YouTube, there's a link to the actual Zoom that you can join in the description. We do have a few updates, but today will primarily be focused on Q&A for everyone. I think that's priority at the moment. And of course, if you guys have any specific topics you want me to go over in the next live, do not hesitate to let me know. So just to kind of move on and go over the updates first, and then we'll get into the Q&A. I do have a bunch of questions as well that people have been asking, and I think it's really important that we go over them. But so if you wish that BILT could do more, or that you think there's something that we can improve on, make sure you guys are using the idea section. Okay, the idea section for BILT, if you want to be able to check that stuff out and whatnot, just make sure you are going to the website. At the bottom there's an ideas board. If you click on the ideas board, you will see we have this. Now this is built out in the last 3 weeks. A lot of you guys don't know about it, right? And so what's happening is, we want to transfer everything over here, so it's more of a kind of like a dev system, where it's like you have an idea, it goes under a review, we plan to work on it, and then of course those that are in progress, you'll be able to keep track and you'll be notified along the way. Okay, so very simple. If you guys have any feedback, just write a nice title and some details about it, and then you can go ahead and put it in. So that's one of the new things that we want you guys to start using. Instead of just coming to support and saying, hey, I wish I could do this. This kind of makes things easier for everyone and more organized and so forth, right? And then a lot of people can upvote, and the more upvotes it gets, that will be priority, and so forth, right? So that's really, really important. Next thing is, for those of you that do not know, right, when you first get your system, again, I don't expect the new people that just signed up to use this per se, but if you go into your CRM, you will see that we have the testimonial section. Okay, now you will receive a free month if you submit a video testimonial. We do appreciate everything that we can get. And it helps out other people see the power of the system and so forth. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. This has always been here. Just want to give you guys a quick reminder on that note. And then, of course, at the same time, some of you guys know already, we're no longer holding the Saturday evening lives for the BILT Content Engine. BILT Content Engine was a system we built out and that we currently use on a day-to-day basis for auto posting 1,000 pieces of content per month on all of our social media platforms and our blogs and newsletters and so forth, right? So it's a complete automated marketing system. That will be no longer be done on Saturdays. And the reason being is no one's really showing up for it, even though we got 500 likes for it, right? It was something new, has nothing to do with BILT. It was just something that you guys wanted to be able to improvise, be able to do, and we kind of I wanted to showcase it for you guys. So instead, what I'll be doing is I'll be creating tutorial videos on how to create that stuff from scratch, step by step, on the YouTube channel that is pre-recorded, pre-cut, edited. So it's not a two-hour live of me trying to figure things out. Okay. So there won't be any engagement, but it'd be more step-by-step tutorials. But yeah, so if you guys are enjoying the lives and appreciate all the free education and want us to continue doing these for free, make sure you guys, if you guys are on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure to like and share the video. We appreciate it and welcome all the support we can get. Also, if you're interested in BILT, make sure you go to BILTCRM.com. So Q&A, right? There's been a lot of questions that we've received along the way, right? People are confused when they first get started, or maybe they have some clarifications, things they want to know, or maybe they get into the system and they just go ahead and start changing things inside the system. You don't want to do that right away. The first things you guys want to do when you first get into BILT is make sure you are, number one, following the getting started checklist, and you are booking and onboarding, right? Do not change anything in the system until you book an onboarding. We have a lot of people doing that right now, and it's causing confusion. We have to re-enter all the information into your guys' accounts and so forth. Let's not do that, right? If you guys have questions, by the way, put them in the chat, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, here on Zoom directly. Put them in the chat or raise your hand and ask your question. Not a problem at all. If you're in Zoom, just raise your hand. But in the meantime, I'm going to go through a few of the questions that most people are asking right now to help maybe clarify some questions maybe you guys already have, but maybe you're hesitating to ask. So I'm a little confused in how it's generating offers, right? The system, just to clarify, right? The system is automation, right? The system is AI. The system does things for you, right? How does it generate the offers? Well, you're uploading data into the system, right? Our AI and our automation automatically calculates the deal, right? Now, granted, you might be wanting, specific calculations and all this different things. What is the purpose of an LOI? What is the purpose of an offer if you're mass blasting? The purpose is to gauge interest. The purpose is to get that agent, get that seller to say, yes, I'm interested in hearing more. Let's now hop on a phone call. Let's now deep dive and analyze this deal. Let's now set up a contract. Let's negotiate, right? The point of if you want the calculation to be exactly what you want, just know that there is no calculation that matches every single deal. Okay, that's why we give you the ability of uploading any deal type, whether it's cash, sub 2, seller finance, hybrid deals, and the system will calculate every single deal type and determine which one is best. Okay, so that's how the system actually generates those LOIs. It generates all different types and decides which one is best. So when you actually go and send the LOI or send the offer to that agent or seller, it already knows which deal type is best. And so it just uses that pre-built template that we have that you guys are supposed to modify, change it to your own branding inside the system. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's switch this over to this. It might look a little weird on Zoom, but this way so other people can see on the live stream and stuff like that what's going on. So is this doing underwriting? Okay, is there a lead gen? We are not a data service, right? You put the data in here, it generates high quality inbound leads, right? Essentially, what is a lead, right? A lead is not a data source, right? A lead is someone who responds positively saying, yes, I'm interested. Yes, I'm interested in selling. Yes, we're close. Negotiation somewhere along the line, right? That is a lead. That is a warm lead. That is a hot lead. Cold lead is basically just data, right? In my opinion. So no, we are not in charge of the data. You're in charge of getting it from PropStream. You're in charge of getting it from Batch, DealSauce, PropWire, wherever you get your data from. Just make sure it has certain criteria, right? Like mortgage information and so forth. Going back to, is this doing underwriting? Well, calculations in a form is underwriting. But because every single deal is different, right, it's impossible to do a template or a calculation for every single deal type to be the same. For example, right, if you have a sub 2 deal, right, or a seller finance deal, and you're giving X amount down, can you give X amount down on every single property the same, or same percentage down, 10% on every single property? I mean, it's not logical, right? Like you can't do that, right? It's not really feasible in a sense, right? The reason being is because cash on cash return, ROIs, certain rules that people use and try to analyze deals, it doesn't make sense for every single deal, right? Now, if your end buyers are like, yeah, I'll just buy every deal that has $10,000 down, maybe, yeah, that would work, right? And they don't care about cash flow. They don't care about being positive cash flowing or having a certain type of return or cash on cash, right? So yeah, that's why it's impossible to analyze a deal unless you physically putting it into a spreadsheet, a calculator, a backup napkin, actually physically analyzing the deal. So I will say this again, the system does use its automatic calculations and does use advanced automations to evaluate these, but they're meant for interest-based, right? They're meant for positive responses. Another thing is people are asking if, are there setup fees? No, we're not charging you guys for setup fees. There's nothing to set up. I had someone the other day literally sign up for the entire account and they went to our add-ons and so forth, right? So here, I'll just show you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about. They went to the website and they clicked on setup and add-ons at the bottom, right? And they saw this custom setup or easy LOI setup. No, you do not have to pay for these. You can just watch this 1 through 7 step-by-step tutorial and you can do it yourself in probably 25 minutes if you're tech savvy, right? If you don't want to take the time and you don't want to learn and you don't want to follow a video, yes, we will charge you. So keep that in mind, right? But everyone has the ability of doing it themselves. Okay. Another thing, right? Do we have an affiliate program? Yes, there's an affiliate program. Every single one of you guys received the email the moment you guys sign up. If you're referring people anyways, why aren't you using the affiliate program? You get 30% back every time per month, monthly recurring. So keep that in mind. Don't just randomly refer somebody and then next thing you know, you're not getting anything out of it, right? A lot of people have referred you guys on here. They are probably making money out of it. A lot of people are using this to have a secondary income. So think about it that way. Does BILT work for agents or is this only for investors? Let's think about that for a second. What does an agent do? They reach out to sellers. What does an investor do? They reach out to sellers or agents, right? Or wholesalers or whatever. Well, the only differentiating factor there is the fact that they're a listing agreement and we are buying the property, right? Is it specialized and meant for 100% for agents the way it is for investors? No, it's not, right? It's meant for investors. Can an agent use it? Yeah, they could. Yeah, but it's not really meant for them. So keep that in mind, okay? Does this work for land deals? Does it work for multifamily? Does it work for commercial? Multifamily, maybe up to 4 units, because that's where it's like you're looking at ARVs, right? After it's 4 units, you're probably looking at P&Ls, T12s. You know, it's a whole different calculation. No, it's not going to work for multifamily, and hell no, it's not going to work for commercial. And there's multiple things that are involved with those type of deal structures. Think about it this way. If someone's got a commercial building, are you going to just blast them LOIs, or are you going to go to Starbucks, get a drink with them, and go play Top Golf after that? That makes no sense, right? You want to have more of a personal relationship with people who are more commercial or multifamily. We are doing more of a blasting strategy. So not really recommended for larger multifamilies or commercial. Land deals, yes, you can. The only thing you got to do is tweak how the template gets sent out, right? Maybe a little bit more on the calculations, but we can help you with that. How would I make the lead name appear on the opportunity card instead of the street address? I've gotten this multiple times, and I think we need to clarify this, right? Inside of the pipeline. So let me pull up an account right now. I'm just going to pull up a demo account, so we're not showing addresses. But inside of here, let's go right here. So inside of your actual acquisition pipeline, you move it to acquisition, you're going to find these are addresses. Some of you guys want to change this to the property owner, right? The seller or the agent's name. If you do this, our system is not going to know what address to send an offer on, right? So think about that. We send offers based off the opportunity name. If you change this and you choose to do it on your own end and you put the seller's name or the agent's name, it's literally going to say, I'm making an offer on your name. Does that make sense, guys? We do not want to be doing that. So try not to do that kind of stuff. If you have questions on what you can do and what you can change inside the system, just ask first, right? Don't just change everything on your end. And the next thing you know, you question why our offers are not being sent out correctly. So how would I make the lead name? We went over that. Can we set buy boxes for our buyers in this system? Who's using the system right now in here, right? Or maybe you're on YouTube right now or Facebook. Are you guys using the system? Are you guys building relationships with buyers? Have you guys watched the tutorials and the demos? Then you'll see that we have the ability of building buy boxes for our buyers, and it's full in depth and everything. So I'll open up a contact right now and show you guys. So let's say this is a contact right here. If you scroll down, we have not only deal analysis, which analyzes the deal, but let me close these so it's nice and neat. Buyer criteria. Is the buyer vetted? Yes or no? Are they a VIP buyer? Probably not in the beginning. What type of investor are they? Rehabber, developer, buy and hold, wholesaler. We have everything for you guys in here. We built this in a way where if you wanted to become the largest disposition company, you could. So keep that in mind. Asset classes, right? Specialties. Whether it's a house on a big lot, tear downs 55 plus, we go into every little nitty gritty stuff, right? Targeted area for state, city, county, on market, off market, lower price points, higher price points. And the best thing of it all is you could filter your contacts on any of these points. Okay, meaning let's just say you have a property in Tampa, Florida. It is a 3-2 because you have the ability of specifying sizes and everything like that of the property, minimum square footage. minimum bed and bath count. You can set the minimum requirements inside your contact and literally just filter all those buyers so you're not targeting everybody. What would happen if, you know, you have a deal in Tampa, Florida, and you just blasted it to all your Florida buyers? Do you think people are going to respond positively when you send them a deal that doesn't meet their buy box? Probably not, right? They're going to unsubscribe. You're going to lose them forever. You're going to ruin your relationship with them that you took time to build, that you took time to develop with them, and they had to fill this out, or maybe you filled this out with them, right? On the phone, or maybe at the form that you're using inside of our system. So keep that in mind, guys. Like, we want to be making sure we're actually putting the details inside here. And again, I know a lot of people are on the lazier side, right? But if you do things right, it actually pays off in the long term. There's this saying, right? Do you want to build a business for the long term, or do you just want to make quick money tomorrow, right? So think of it like that, guys. If you want to build quick money for just for tomorrow, yeah, just blast to everyone and pray, essentially, right? But yeah. So moving on. I sent my first email. I sent my first LOI out, and for whatever reason, it did not send out. Okay. We're getting that. You know, a few people, especially the ones that are not tech savvy, right? They're coming in here and they don't understand the data and spreadsheets. They don't know how to use a spreadsheet, Google Sheets or whatever. You know, there are minimum requirements that we require when you upload your data, right? One of those being is adding a very specific column into your data, your spreadsheet, to make sure, are they on market or are they off market, right? Are we dealing with sellers or are we dealing with agents? The reason being is because the system looks at, you know, those columns, those tags, right, to determine, you know, what deal type, what templates are we using, how are we going to analyze this deal. It's different for an agent and a seller, right? It's different for an on-market deal and an off-market deal. We don't have agent fees inside of direct-to-seller deals, and vice versa. And direct-to-agent deals or on-market deals, we do. We need to take that into consideration. Same thing goes for our templates, right? And so if you're inside the system and you take a look at our marketing, every single template that we create for you guys for every single deal type, if you don't specify whether it's on market or it's off market, it's not going to know which one to choose. So take a look at this, right? So inside the system, you have offer templates. This is specifically for off market, offer templates specifically for on market. If you don't set that column to on market, and here, let me do this. In our help docs, which even if you're not a member, you can look at this, click on 2.0. You'll be able to see all of our step-by-step tutorials in here as well. But in the how to import and map your contacts into the CRM, not only is there a video for you to look at of me deep diving in there, but there's also a spreadsheet, which kind of makes things easier for a lot of people. But uploading data into your CRM. You see this where it says new column? It's literally highlighted. You need to specify whether it's on market or off market. And then so that when it goes into the system, it knows what deal type. So again, if I open up, let's say right here, let's go to our opportunities and let's look at some of these tags. So if we look at this, it's a property lead, right? It says offer sent. It's also mentioned as agent and so forth. Let's look at another one right here, right? This is a mistake. Let's look at this one. This one has the tag on market. Therefore, it knows to use the on market, right? If it, you know, if it's an agent versus a seller, the system needs to know what's going on, right? And then you can kind of see the rest of it when it happens. And so what people are doing is they're moving. Let's say they take this lead right here that has on market. It doesn't have this tag on market, and they're shifting it over to interested send offer. And then they're questioning and saying, "Oh, my offer is not being sent out." Go to your contacts. If you know you're dealing with all agents inside your system, just select all of them, add the tag. Choose, if you made a mistake, just add the tag on market and you'll be good to go, or add the tag off market or whatever, right? That's the easiest, fastest method to get up and running. If you don't have that tag, you will not be able to send offers. So keep that in mind. But again, video and spreadsheet available for you so you can look at and actually do this the right way. Going back to questionnaire. Oh man, I shut that off. So let's see. Yeah, so I have not received training or login info yet. Please check your spam, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. You get 4 emails from us. Okay. The moment you get inside your system, the moment you purchase on the site, you get a thank you page. It literally tells you to save and bookmark this page, okay, for many reasons, okay? So let's just say I open up the website and open it up so I can show you guys what happens. Give me one moment. All right, here you go. So the moment you purchase on the site, it literally says complete these 3 steps, right? And, you know, welcome, you know, all the necessary stuff. Check your email, you get login credentials, check your spam folder, locate the help center, getting started checklist. Here's your 2.0 step-by-step tutorials, schedule an onboarding. I swear, like literally 40% of you guys don't schedule an onboarding, right? Schedule an onboarding, okay? Again, if you have data and you want to upload it during the onboarding, we will do so, right? But make sure you follow this step by step. Make sure you schedule an onboarding. Literally book a session, right? It's that simple, right? If you need help to the step-by-step tutorials, it drags you to the step-by-step tutorials, step 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Can I add other users? Yes, you can add as many users as you want. We don't charge for users or staff members, and you can add as many contacts as you need. I think I maybe skipped questions. Is this, it's new, is there a free trial? We don't do trials. We want people to take action, right, at the end of the day. Same thing with our entire knowledge base. We have 700 articles of support in here, so everything is literally step by step, and on top of that you get 4 emails that literally say the same exact thing, okay, in order. So keep that in mind, guys. Everything right here is set up. Everything is there for you. When you sign up, we do not create your account. Welcome to the age of automation. Everything is created instantly the moment you sign up, okay? Everything is inside your system. So I have not received, I don't have any buttons to export or import inside the system. A lot of you guys are not the ones signing up. A lot of you guys are maybe employees, partners, whatever. You're not the actual person that signed up. And so let's say the person that did sign up added you into this system as a staff member, whether it's an admin or not, right? And if you cannot see the import buttons to upload a CSV file, or you can't see certain features in the CRM that maybe the main person has, it's probably because they didn't give you permissions, right? If you're an admin in the account, you can set permissions for your employees, what they can see and what they cannot see inside the system. Do you want them to see your dashboards, right? Do you want them to see, let's say, every single lead in the pipeline? Do you want them to see every single conversation on every single lead you're working on? Whether it's, let's say they're an acquisition person, should they really be seeing the dispo people work? Maybe, right? Depends on how you operate your business. But no, it's not really recommended, okay? So just keep that in mind. You have the ability of setting those restrictions. And if you come to me and you're an employee underneath somebody or a partner and you're not the one that signed up, I'm literally going to say, go to your admin. They set that permission. Okay, my entire support team is trained on that, right? If you're not the one that owns the system, you will be referred back to your admin who actually owns the system. So keep that in mind. How do I build relationships with buyers and market deals to them, right? I don't know why I'm still getting this question, honestly, but we're gonna go over it again, right? When you go into the 2.0 trading, there's literally 2 things in here. It's big and bold, right? How to dispo real estate deals to buyers and wholesalers doing wholesaling, and how to build relationships with buyers to dispo your deals. If you go into each one of these, right, there's going to be videos, right? And so here's the video right here to building relationships, full in depth, and here's how to dispo your deals, also full in depth. Yeah, everything is built out for you guys. If there's something that we're missing and you're like, hey, Mo, I don't see it in the training center, we will probably have it in there by the end of the week. You know, like, that's the last thing I want is you guys coming to me saying, I can't find. It's most of the time people are saying, I don't want to watch the video, right? And you want us to do it for you. So keep that in mind. You know, everything is there for free for you guys to just watch and do. Everything is set up. All you have to do is just know how to use it, okay? Another thing, right? I built my own automations in BILT, but it's not working, and why? Let's think about that for a second. You sign up for BILT. BILT has everything built out for you, from sending LOI blasts to building relationships with any type of person, buyer, lender, agent, wholesaler. to every single template you could think of, to every single type of marketing blast you can think of, to dispositions, to moving the deal and closing a deal, and TC and contracts and all the stuff. Everything is built out for you. Number one, I'm going to say, what possibly do you need more? But on the other hand, I'm going to say, if you are building your own automations inside of BILT, keep in mind, if you come to support, what do you think we have to do if you build something? We have to literally reverse engineer everything that you did, everything that you created, right? Just to understand what you did wrong, okay? Because automations are not as simple as you think it is, right? You have to think logically. If this happens, do this, right? So we have to literally go down the line of everything you created, every single template you create, every single pipeline you make, and then every single advanced automation, and be like, what's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? We will give you all the support in the world for our system. The moment you build your own, like that's a whole nother topic, right? That is literally, we would have to sit down with you for an hour to figure out what the hell you did, right? If not longer. So think about the time there that's involved. Be careful of building your own systems, right? If you don't know what you're doing, what's going to happen? You're probably going to do it wrong if you don't know what you're doing. Go in there, test, create things, do everything you need to do. Watch. We have 700 articles of support inside this system. It's actually ridiculous how much support we have inside here. I don't even know what the team has created for you guys, right? There's so many things inside there, right? There's no really any excuses whatsoever to not know how to do anything inside this system, from including automations, workflow actions, setting up your SMS, to setting up your opportunities, to your forms, to everything, linking your website to your form, to your calendar, to whatever your pipeline, right? Everything is in there, right? So there's not really any excuses to not being able to do it. It's just the excuse of not be willing to look and search for it, right? At this time. All right, cool. So that's pretty much it as far as the basic questions that I wanted to go on. These are the most common ones that we're getting over and over again. And so I think we needed to clarify this. And of course, we'll take this, we'll cut it up, give it to individual answers, put it inside the support center for everyone as well. Everything that I shared, everything I showed will be inside there. Remember, I'm here to help everyone get started and close either their first deal or maybe close more deals inside using BILT, right? However, if you don't take action, I can't fix that mindset. Right? If you're not willing to learn or upgrade yourself to be better or change how you currently operate, there is nothing that I can do for you, right? There's nothing I can do to help you if you're not willing to take the first step. Of course, if you guys have general questions, ask away. This is meant for you guys. The BILT live, Tuesday night, or for people who can't really attend and ask support between a 9 to 5 time frame, or maybe they're working on 9 to 5 themselves and they need additional help and screen share or deep dive into their systems. This is what this is for. This is for you guys every Tuesday night. So I see a few of you guys are on the Zoom actually physically right now. If you're watching from YouTube or you're coming from Facebook, in the description you can join the Zoom. Okay. I know this transition's been hard over the last 2 weeks. We had to transfer over to YouTube, but you guys have any questions inside here? Do we have anything we want to go over? Go ahead, Elaine.
Okay, so let you know, I'm fairly new. I do have a deal that's going on, and I'm looking to get the subject to paperwork so I can fill it out and give it to my buyer. So what's the easiest, quickest way to take a look at those documents?
So the documents are going to be inside your payment section. Here, I'll just share a screen so you can see what I'm looking at.
Thank you.
So if you go into your system and click on payments right here, right over here on the left, and you click on documents
okay.
and contracts and templates,
Okay.
you're going to see all of them are in here.
Okay.
Now you can look at them, you can do whatever, but there is a prerequisite before you actually send them out. You have to assign them who's the main signer, right? Probably the owner of the company, right? Your guys' company has to be one of the main signers. So you do need to assign one of the staff members to be a main signer when you start using. There's a full-blown tutorial on how to do contracts. It's day 5 of the live training that's inside the BILT 2.0. Okay, so you'll find it inside there. So BILT 2.0, BILT 2.0 live training, read more. It's going to be the day 5. So if I click on this, it's going to be day 5. It'll be right here.
Okay.
Okay, so
okay.
That's how you find that one.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. What else you got for me? I know you just joined.
Yep, a couple more things is Yesterday we had an onboarding call.
Okay.
And and my computer guy took a look at stuff and changed stuff, and he didn't realize that he was supposed to change stuff. And remember, we don't have anything in our account. Did you put it back to?
Yep, it's already been done. I took care of it right after that meeting.
Okay, thank you. And you were also supposed to send me a copy of that meeting.
Oh yeah. I forgot. I apologize. I will send you the copy of the recording.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll just have to upload it to my Google Drive, and I'll send. Let me write this down so I don't forget, though. I'll
Thank
send
you.
recording. No problem. I'll have that sent to you. What else you got for me?
So this is the action that I've taken so far today is, like I said, I went to GoDaddy and I purchased 3 more domain names.
Okay.
So now I just have to figure out, and I'll watch some more of the videos.
Okay, so you purchased. So you purchased 3 domains.
I did.
So you basically just need to watch the video on how to add them to the system, right? As emails.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't really have any problems since those are GoDaddy tutorials as well. They're not any other software, so you should be good to go.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Sammy, how you doing? What you been up to?
Hey, what's going on, Bo?
What you been up to? What you been doing?
I'm just hopping on, man. See what's going on. See what you're doing.
You still been super busy?
Yeah, I'm very, very busy. It's a good thing, right?
Yeah. Deals, everything good on the deals side?
Yeah, I got 200 contract, one potential one, hopefully in the next couple of days, and hopefully we'll get them through the finish line.
Awesome. Are they wraps by any chance?
No, they're cash deals.
Okay, cash deals. Okay, cool. Just curious. I'm really gauging right now. Like a lot of people have been locking up deals that don't cash flow, so I'm just trying to gauge what's going on. The last thing I want is you guys locking up deals that are hard to move.
Yeah, there's been a few of those lately.
Yeah. Cool. Appreciate it, Sammy.
Yep.
Desire. I know you submitted a support ticket? Was it yesterday or today or something?
Yeah, that was yesterday. I don't know.
Did that get taken care of for you?
No, so they wanted full details of my issues, which I haven't had the time to type it all out.
Okay.
And I think it was just technical things that I was trying to fix on the back end, which I just thought I'd message you guys instead of spinning my wheels trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, so what's the issue right now? I think it was something to linking them things, right?
Yeah, so for the web form, so I created the Dispo website, and I implemented your Dispo form. When I go and type in the information, I was looking for my submissions to submit the deal.
Yeah.
It wasn't generating. So
okay.
I think when I was
you're talking about for buyers or Dispo intake?
Yeah, Dispo intake.
Isn't Dispo intake, the automation's already set up? The moment they fill out that form, it gets thrown into your Dispo pipeline. What's your friendly business name?
It's 7D Montes.
All right, got it.
So if it was through your automation, this is a Dispo website. I had to create one.
That's fine, but the form submission, right? So yeah. Here, let me just show you, right? So this is the account. I know you guys created a bunch of other stuff, but and if you go into 2.0 under dispositions, let's see, inbound Dispo, right here, Dispo intake automation is already pre-built. So the moment they, it's let's say a new deal, it's going to automatically assign it to a user. You want to put your marketing users here for dispositions. And then of course, it automatically comes in there with the address.
Okay, so once I input the form, I still have to go to automations and assign it.
No, just do it the first time because you not everybody's a dispo person, right, on your team, right? And so you have key people who just focus on dispo, right? And so in that case, you would just, if it's multiple people, just add multiple people, right? And then
Right.
have it split equally between them.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not gonna save this, but so you can go in there and modify it. But
Okay, cool.
yeah, like this is already
And so-
built out. Yeah.
Yep, that's good to go. So I was doing an automation for what was it? The initial relationship, your pipeline for your relationship hires.
Yeah.
The intro, the friendly introduction.
Yeah.
I cloned your automation, and
Okay.
I was doing a test. Everything should work if I clone it, right?
No.
Oh man, that's where I messed up.
So you'll notice when you get into our automations and stuff, a few of the folders are locked, right? Because they're like very
Yeah.
specific to how we operate, and we don't need our competitors going in. But inside of the relationship building pipeline, you're gonna find those rules, right? And so I'm assuming you went into like the buyers, and yeah, you just duplicated them, right?
Yeah.
You don't really.
So, okay.
So
So
yeah, you could just go in here and just change. Like, think about it this way, right? Every single email and the wait timers you can change.
So click on that. I did. I did it 2 different ways, and I was trying to troubleshoot. So if you view it, it pulls everything in. Is that everything is up to date? Yeah. Our information is in there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I try and schedule the automation and schedule it, it didn't want to go. And then I was thinking, did I mess up my timing? Because I know you said it waits 3 minutes and then it goes. So then I checked my timing, and then I was like up all night, and maybe I messed up the time.
Well, here you go, right here. Let's look at this one, right? This was May 18th at 6 p.m., so this was 2 nights ago, right? You notice it says skipped because it says invalid email.
Okay, go to the top one. Wait, no, those
but then,
ones, no.
But then Jen, and then of course these tests that you did right here, they said wait, right? Let's see, and this one executed, so this one sent out. This one actually delivered and
Those are
opened.
not the ones I was talking about. We just created new ones.
Yeah. So if they,
The ones that were from me. Do you see anything that was from me?
so right here.
I can't see. It's blurry.
Yeah, so here's the question though. Let's actually go into the logs of what happened. So you can actually click on, right? So it was added to the workflow, it was assigned to the user, right? Which, by the way, did you do the assign to user for this too?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool.
I split equally.
It waited, I guess it skipped it the first time, it waited, skipped it again.
Yeah,
Why is it
and
skipping?
said the skip reason was because it was already, or what does that say?
Well, here, I can tell you right now, is that how we spell Gmail?
No, so that one was a mistake.
Yeah.
I got that one.
Yeah, but if you go back to the enrollment history and you look at, let's say, the other ones, I don't know what you got going on here. Execution
I
logs.
fixed that. That was an issue.
Yeah. So her sent out, or Jennifer Reyes, right? That one sent out. Perfectly fine. So, you know, like it again, right? There's requirements. Like we're not gonna be able to send an email if the email's invalid, right? And so right here, you see you got 2 people waiting right here, right? So I guess you have a wait 3 minutes and they'll wait 2 days. So the reason why they didn't send out the email too is they're still waiting here for 2 days.
What is the title on that? If you can read it, it's too. I'm on my phone, so I can't see what it says.
Yeah, it just says
building
quick follow up.
email.
Yeah, building relationship email blast.
It's because we had I had them create a new one so they could send it out. I wonder. It might have been the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the same one. All
yeah,
right.
I would just
Maybe
delete
that
the
works.
I would just delete the 2 that you created, right? And you know, you've already assigned. So again, you see those templates that we created for you for those buyers, for building relationships with buyers?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in here, buyers building relationships, all you had to do was just change those and then you were done. And maybe you go in there and change the timing, but like that's all you had to do was just do that. Yeah, everything's done for you, yeah.
So another question, how would I embed the calendar week into, or how does that work, the configuration of calendar into my templates?
Well, for one, I saw you using Calendly still.
Well, I that one's someone else, but I created my my calendar through Bill, so I can implement mine
Yeah.
into the template. So I was trying to test that
Okay.
out.
So on your website, so let's say we're on any website. So you got the Dispo website up.
Yeah,
You have home, you have Dispo, you have VIP wires, you have deals, right?
right.
We're gonna add a new page, and I'm gonna add it for you. I'm just gonna call it
Okay.
calendar template, right? And then you can copy and clone it for each person. But basically, we'll just name it again, calendar dash template, right? You can just name it per person or whatever. So that when you actually add the calendar inside of BILT, we're just gonna create from blank and go inside here. It's very, very simple because we don't want that lead connector bullshit to pull up on there, right? We just want it to be
Right.
under our domain. And so we
Right.
just add a few elements in there and literally just put in our calendar, right? And it's going to ask you what
smart.
calendar do you want to choose? And so you have a
Yep,
7D
see?
desired
That's mine.
test, right?
Yep.
And if I choose that, it's going to pop up your calendar right away.
Perfect. Perfect.
And now if we save and I publish this, right, and you probably need to edit the name, of it, because right now it just says
Yeah.
template. But now when I open it up, here, let's do it this way,
Nice.
right? And I click on this, it opens up under 7diamantesllc.com/calendar-template. And so
There
it's
you
a
go.
lot more organized. It's a lot more, easy. And you can send it to like a
So-
landing page that has multiple calendars too. Either one
Right,
works.
right. So then I would get this link or this the URL and put that in my template.
Correct. Or you can hyperlink it under a specific word in the email as well.
Yeah, yeah. I got that part. I
Either
can
way.
do that instead. That's better.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Wow.
Mm.
Perfect. You can go ahead and save that and publish it. I like it.
I
I'll go and fix
yeah,
that.
I went ahead and published it. You just got to rename it to
Nice.
whoever. Yeah.
See, this is I was up hours and hours trying to figure this out.
When it's a simple fix.
Man, I'm gonna have to get on your calendar to. I'm like, well, just do it all at once. No, that's really cool. As you can tell, I've been doing a lot of videos on my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I appreciate it. Okay, I think I'm good. I don't have no more questions. I'll message if I do.
Awesome.
Thanks, Mo.
Of
Appreciate
course.
it.
Appreciate it. Desire.
All right, take care. Okay, bye bye.
Derek, what's going on? What's up, man?
Not much, man.
How's everything going on your end?
Okay.
Everything's good?
Yeah.
With the new landing page?
New properties and stuff here, so.
Yeah, I saw you literally put every single property already. You duplicated and created a whole new page for every property. That's awesome.
Dude, I'm on it, man.
I see.
I got probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 showings set up already.
Nice.
I'm like today, so
Yeah, we just need to
At
build
least
out the
one.
next step of it. Yeah.
at least one person showed up. So
At least one person showed up.
yeah.
They responded yes.
Yep.
Okay. So 5. Oh, that's horrible though. And 1 out of 6 actually responded.
It's been terrible. It's been terrible.
Well, that's what I felt like was gonna happen, right? Is like people don't respond. They just they don't confirm. That doesn't mean they didn't show up though.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they did show up, they didn't have a code, so
Hmm. Yeah.
because they didn't reach out to me. So
Oh, they didn't even call. They didn't do anything, huh? After that.
no,
Well, fuck them, I guess. Right.
that's all right. Hey, with 13,000 clicks in a week, you'll get enough people going.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Oh, appreciate you.
So, yeah, we'll keep grinding at it.
We'll move on to the next stage, I'm sure, and make sure everything else is taken care of. Yeah, I just want to make sure that was how you wanted it to be.
Yeah, it seems to be working out okay right now.
Okay, cool.
I'm just getting the copy and paste going for the messenger side of everything.
Have you been checking the stats of how many people are actually landing on your page?
No, where do I see that?
Where do you see that?
Yeah.
Just go to sites, analytics. Yeah, if you go to sites and analytics, you'll be able to check out everything. This way you can kind of keep track of, like, so for example, right? If I just open up someone's normal account, like hell, right now, since Desire was just on here, right? Like you'll be able to like tell when I go to site analytics, you can see every single one of your websites in here. And let's say you have yours very specific, you would select it and it would tell you how many page views per day, as well as how many opt-ins people are opting in. You can kind of keep track of that in the long form.
Yeah, I've got 196.
Really?
28 opt-ins.
And you literally just freaking started.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
What is this for?
in 3 days, it's shot up.
Josh, this is something we're building out for him, but
This is secret squirrel stuff.
secret squirrel stuff until it's complete.
Top secret.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. We'll just say it's it'll help with your guys' wraps. I'll just go with that. But for now, that's all we can give right now. Yeah, I mean, like you should be able to track everything, right? The whole point of this, Derek, is so you can know your metrics. Like you said this before. Well, I get X amount of people that on Facebook or whatever, right? But how many people are actually showing up, converting to your website versus how many people are converting to your forms, which ultimately converts to appointment showing, which ultimately converts to, contracts and stuff like that, right? So like you want to know your metrics so you can always optimize and make things better over time. And I'll show you how to do all this stuff. So
We've got a 21.5% opt-in conversion rate. So
how much?
21.5%.
Dang.
Is that good?
My let's just go with this. My add to cart for software is at 16%. So you're being me. But it's a whole different business model, so I don't know how it is yet. But good,
Cool.
good. It's good. Let's see. Josh, since you're here, you haven't been here in a while. What's going on? What you up to? Still doing PPC, PPL? Or are you switched over to something else?
Same stuff, different day. Banging my head against the wall, talking to PPL leads that just aren't as motivated as we would like them to be. And I don't know. The deals that I do get are like falling apart because people are understating the things that they need, and then when I spend a couple $100 and send people out there for pictures and video, and I go back to them, I'm not good. Either not good with negotiation, or they're just unrealistic on what needs to happen, and it's just one of those things. But
So dispositions is the hard part, not acquisitions.
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not strong in dispo. I didn't know all the different things that 2.0 has for dispo. I honestly haven't even gone through like your trainings and stuff because just been grinding on the
I know
other stuff.
you're an OG,
stuff,
you're an OG 1.0. I know.
right.
So yeah, what did I say before? Change management is hard.
Right.
You're used to doing something for so long that it's hard to change what you're doing. You know it works or whatever. It's working for you.
Right.
Yeah, man. Start using 2.0. Is it in your system already? Like, did we already
it's in
upload
there.
everything?
I just haven't even dorked around with it. I just bypassed it for all the stuff that I already set up. So I don't know. I gotta go through your videos and be like, oh yeah, that's probably like super useful for what I'm wanting to do. And
Well,
why am
question:
I
are
trying to
you
do
building relationship with buyers, or like what's your dispo strategy right now at the moment?
I mean, it's basically put it up on InvestorLift, rent buyers, put it on Deal Speed for iSpeed Elite, blast their buyers, and then look at like investor base buyers around the property that I get, because obviously I'm not working a specific market. So that's the downside.
Do you know why I don't recommend InvestorLift? I used to use InvestorLift, right?
Yeah.
Because it uses their system of emails and uses their system of SMS, right?
Right.
And everybody already that has previously unsubscribed from InvestorLift emails will no longer get it, right?
Right.
And I mean, I'm assuming you're not calling these buyers and building a relationship; you're just blasting them at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do their text blast. I don't do any of their email stuff because, I mean, like you said, I mean, I just ignore all their emails, or I did ignore and or opt out from whatever I saw as a buyer. So I'm like, look, if this is me doing it, like anyone else is, they're getting hammered with however many things that just aren't relevant to them or aren't deals or whatever. They're not looking at that. They're waiting on people to, either hunt them down or just stuff that, they automatically get from just doing business in a particular market. I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's why you kind of want to build your own system. So not only do you, when you build that relationship, they know not to unsubscribe from you, from both emails and text, right? And,
Right.
So like you have more control.
Yeah.
Versus like, let's say everyone's already unsubscribing from Investor Lift or whatever other tools you're using. So.
Right.
Yeah, but. Also, do you have the ability on InvestLift? I don't think we did. We had that back then, where you can literally filter your buyers based off buy boxes. Probably not. Just based off
It's
radius
more
and city and state.
Yeah, it's radius to the city, and then if they're like tagged with a specific tag, just happen to be, I don't even know how they wind up tagging these people. If it's a piece of land and you want someone looking for land. But a lot of people aren't tagged with anything, so unless they're like identified as a wholesaler or they're identified as fix and flip guy or land. But like I said, it's back when I had access through these cold callers I was using. They were letting me, use one of their sub accounts or whatever, and I noticed that like most of them wouldn't have any tags, so you can't really niche them down that much. It's really got to be like blast everybody in the radius and then just exclude everyone who's tagged as a wholesaler at this point.
Yeah.
Or
yeah, that's the problem again, because here's what's happening. Let's say you have a deal in Tampa, Florida. Specifically, it's a 3-2. It's 1,200 square feet. Yada yada yada. All the little details, right? You have no way of filtering exactly to someone's buy box, right, or the minimum requirements of their buy box. And so what happens is you send to, let's say, 1,000 people or more, right? Start throwing a random number out there. And half of those people that doesn't meet their buy box, they're probably unsubscribing.
Right.
Right. Like, that's why it's not a good strategy. You want to, like, those who do dispo well, right? Like, really hone down the buy boxes and really filter their buy box before they send, deals out to people. Right, because the last thing they want is a really good buyer, and they might be just in a different zip code, right? Or they just want a very specific type of deal, but they buy every single time. You send them shitty deals, and they disappear, right? Because they unsubscribe from you. They never want to deal with you again. So Dispo it's not hard, but it's also not easy. It gets easier as you start building it out and you start using it properly and filtering.
Yeah, I mean, it's its own thing. Like they say, it's you can't have one without the other, and then.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
it's definitely different.
Like I said, Josh, if you wanted to become the largest dispo company, you could using 2.0.
Right.
You just got to use it.
I mean, I probably should start dispo because that's like seems to be where a lot of people that are in acquisitions gone up at. But at the same time, a lot of people are just locking out crappy deals. So it's like chicken and egg thing or something. It's like, well,
but what's a crappy deal to you might actually fit someone else's buy box. Right. If it matched, but if you just assume everyone buys at 10% cash on cash return deals, and with, whatever entry fee, then, you're not moving a lot of deals because you're assuming what you think. Right.
Yeah. I mean, people buy, totally upside down, non-cash flowing stuff, thinking they're going to wrap it at like, 6 and some odd %. So I guess anything's possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, yeah.
Well, cool. Reach out if you need any assistance setting up your 2.0 stuff. I don't
hit up the videos first because I don't want to waste your time. But
is
that what's the link for that again? It's like BILTCRM.com/help or
if you just scroll down to the bottom of BILTCRM.com, you'll see help docs.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, I'll just pull it up real quick. So you know what I'm talking about. So if you just go here to the website, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it doesn't matter if you're a member or not, click on Help Docs, and you click on 2.0 right here. These two specific videos you probably want to watch for building relationships and actually dispoing them. But all the steps are here too.
Got it.
right,
See
cool.
it.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Carol, what's going on?
Hey, Mo, how are you?
Doing good. Haven't seen you in a bit.
I know it's been a while. All right, so I have two questions for you. One is I'm having some issues with my calendar.
Okay.
And then my son is on here, AJ, and he made a workflow.
He's got a better setup than I do.
What'd you say?
I said he's got a better setup than I do. Got all the lights back.
Yeah. So I'm gonna let him go first, and then I'll ask my question about the calendar afterwards.
Okay, cool. What's up,
Okay.
AJ?
Hey, how's it going?
Good?
So yes, I have my workflow. So basically what it was supposed to be doing is reaching out to, we have a bunch of wholesalers that we met a long time ago. We're not sure if they're still wholesalers.
Okay.
So basically we're just trying to reach out to them, see, if they are still wholesaling. But what the issue is I have a weight section. Like, well, is it possible that I could share my screen just to show you?
Yeah, go right ahead. I'll give you access.
Yeah, let me just do that.
If you're watching on live, you will not be able to see this.
All right, share. Okay. You can see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let's just click that. Okay, so right here in this weight section, I thought that this was going to set it to wait for the contact to reply anytime within 2 days, and then if they do reply, it would just like funnel to the left over here and move on with the workflow. But what kept happening when I tested it is I kept getting stuck at this section. And then I changed this to 1 minute just to see if it would work, and it still didn't do anything. So I was just confused as to what I was doing wrong.
Click on the wait.
Everybody just going.
Click on contact reply. Scroll down. Wait for a reply in a certain step. Click cancel. That 30 days, is that a text?
Yes, SMS message.
Okay. What's your guys' friendly business name? Let me pull it up.
I'm not sure what she
Just
put it under.
click on back to workflows.
I'm sorry. Oh, back here.
Yeah. So stepping stone. All right. So this is under what? Relationship building for
Yeah,
wholesalers.
relationship building, and then wholesaler, and then
Reconnect. Okay. I'll just. All right, so you have a wait period, reply to, timeout, contact reply, time delay for a particular amount of period of time, event, appointment time, overdue, wait until before, after invoice, condition, particular condition to get satisfied, reply. Okay, so you're saying when this wait happens, they're getting stuck there and they're not moving anywhere? Is that what you're saying?
Right, it's getting stuck like right in this plus zone right here in between.
Okay. Were you testing on draft mode or did you publish it?
I published it the first time, and then the second time like hit this test button just to see if that would work, and then neither one worked.
Okay, so here, the best way to do this is to really just reverse engineer. So I'm going to take off your shared screen. You can see mine.
Okay.
So you can see what I'm doing. But when you go into your builder, right, you'll be able to see enrollment history and then execution logs. So let's say you tested yourself, right? Went in, enrollment reason was the contact. This is the trigger, or maybe this was, your test or whatever. So you tried 3 tests and 1 through the contact tag, right?
Right.
If you click on this, right, view execution log specifically for this one, you'll be able to see what happened. It was added to the workflow. It sent the message. Right? And then it waited. So if we click on view details, we'll be able to see right here what happened. It timed out for 2 days, right? Event status was waiting, and then apparently it went to finished. So actually it was from an older version of the workflow. So apparently you changed this workflow multiple times afterwards. So let's go back to one of your more recent ones. Okay, so cool. Waiting, wait finished. So right here it says wait finished, right? So it means it stayed for the entire 2 days, or what happened here? It says executed none.
I genuinely don't know because it was not a 2-day period
Okay.
in between there.
Cool. But here you have another execution. So it did go through at this point, right?
Okay.
It looks like it went through, but let me see what happened here. So after it went through to one of them, you have if functions. So if it contains these words, so you put multiple separated by commas. I don't think that works as well.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, each one needs to be separated on its own line. You don't need any quotes or anything. You just need the word. I'll give you an example, right? So you see we have compliance, right? That we have set up for you guys. So here's your A2P compliance. Inside here you have common replies workflows. Specifically, if I go back for the relationship one, it's right here. So this is the relationship one. If they say certain words, like notice how it says not interested and they're all separated in different lines.
Got it, okay.
Right, so that's how you want to be very specific. That's why it's kind of not firing in a sense that workflow when it does get passed. Now, again, right, we do need to deep dive and see what's going on as far as the wait time that you just mentioned, because you changed it to 1 minute and it still didn't go through. Let's go to wholesalers, reconnect, and let's do this. Let's duplicate this workflow, and then go inside of it. And just for now, like the reason why I'm duplicating it is really just to like delete all this for now.
Okay.
Because the whole point is just to test one thing at a time. Like, are you running this entire thing by testing? Or are you just building it all one shot and then hoping that it works?
Yeah, that is what I did actually.
Yeah, so you want to kind of build it out one by one and keep testing your workflow to make sure everything's working. But let's just say I save this, publish it. When it times out, right, we want it to send, let's say, a text message here. And we'll just use the example of timeout, right, as a quick deciding factor. And then if they reply, we'll just do a, again, we'll just say replied, right? This is a good way of just testing yourself along the way. And so right now, contact tag, that's fine. I'm gonna test the workflow. And am I in here? No. Info, built. I guess I'm not in here. Let's go ahead and add myself real quick. Contacts. And just to kind of test it out. Go back to automations. And relationship, wholesalers, copy, test workflow, select contract, run the test, right? And so this way you're going to run the test, and you know, of course, I should probably end up receiving multiple things, right? Let me see where my phone's at. So I already got the first one, right? If we refresh right here, and we can expedite them through pushing them along the pipeline, instead of putting a shorter time frame, you can notice how there's a wait time here, and this wait time is 2 days. Well, if I respond to this message at the moment, let's just make sure it works, right? So test, or it'll just say yes, right? So I responded yes. Let's see what happens. Give it a second. So it's probably still going to wait the full response time for the wait. So let's just move this guy along. Let's see, do I get which one? Which one am I getting? The actual response, or am I getting the timeout? And so this time it actually went through and it said timeout, right? So it's not considering a text message at this moment as a response, which is weird.
Okay.
Um,
Should it be like triggering you to go to the contact reply section when you do respond?
well, here's the thing, right? Oh, let's see some other things you have in here. Multiple markets read. Yeah, I was gonna say if you had a stop on a response on, it would automatically stop the entire workflow. If you don't have it on. I'm gonna have to look into this and see really what's going on with this.
Okay.
How we do it? Here, let me open up a different account. Just open up this. Because let's say how we have it for like other things, we do it for our actual offers. Initial offers, let's just say it's seller finance. Yeah, so we would do the 1 day wait reply, right? If they respond, we don't really do anything, but when it times out, then we send them follow-up text messages. You know, like, hey, check your email, you know, stuff like that. They don't respond.
Right.
Contact reply. Yeah, I gotta look into it. I gotta really just check and see what the hell's going on.
Okay.
Maybe we're just doing it completely wrong. I'll get you a solution by tomorrow. Let me write this down though. Contact. Why?
Issue is proving bigger than I thought it was.
No, it shouldn't be that big. It's just more of, you know, testing, right? And figure out what works for the scenario. Even though like logically that should be like the solution, right? Yeah. Yeah, now this is bugging me. But I guess also kind of one of the things that's like we have to like reverse engineer what you built and see how to fix it or whatever. So it's like wasn't built by us. So some of the stuff we take to build takes 6 months, man. So I wish things could be built that easy, that fast. But
I probably should have checked it as I was doing it too. I really just put the whole thing together.
That's definitely the most recommended thing. If you're gonna build anything, just make sure it's working step by step before you move on to the next step. Like what you built was a whole like giant web, right? If this happens, do this, right? But I would still build out. Make sure the main components are working. For example, this wait, right? And then, for example, one of the each if function, I would make them confirmed first before you move on, because the rest of it's like wait times we understand, right? Regular wait times, SMS works, we know, like those things are fine. It's just the wait times and the if functions that are tricky sometimes. Yeah. I was just curious. Select operator contact detail. You have it set to that. You could also say I don't really do it through text messaging because we don't prefer text messaging due to compliance. Emails. Yeah, if I do it through email, it'll probably work. Just send an email.
Oh, is it looking for an email response as opposed to an SMS response?
Well, you know, right now it's more of I know for a fact it works with the emails, right? Because like that's what we do all the time. We don't prefer text messaging because of compliance, like so we don't even build those out for you guys. Like even this right here, like I know you had a previous relationship with them, but you can get potentially suspended through Twilio if you send a lot of these, right? And they're back to back too. So technically those are 2 messages back to back. If you get even a 2% opt out rate, you get temporary suspended, right? So we don't want to get into that. But yeah, test email, because mass blast texting that they have not opted in physically through, let's say, your website or forms, or, you know, agreed to be opted in, it is technically illegal, right? So that's why we don't recommend it.
Tell him how many like texts and emails we can send out in a day. Can you tell us that again? And it's name compliant.
Yeah, so like again, like for cold email, you only want to send about 30 to be conservative. You technically can go to 50, but because we do have follow-ups, right? You want to take those into consideration. So
Be safe. Yeah, makes sense.
yeah, be safe always. Longevity, deliverability will improve and not get worse over time. Like if for an email, right? Let's say you bought a brand new domain. If you were to send 10,000 emails the first day, you'd probably burn it. You have to go throw that domain away. But if you start with 30, right, over time, you're going to get people that respond, and those people that respond are not counted towards your 30 anymore because they're now warm. If that makes sense. And the same thing goes for text messaging too. It's like people say there's a limit on text messaging. I think you just don't want to do it, right, at all, unless they've officially 100% opted in. Let's say on your website and they double opted in by confirming opt-in. We use it for follow-ups. We don't use it for cold initial outreach. And even then, you still have the risk of them just unsubscribing or replying stop or whatever. And so we do change words from stop to a halt. So the system doesn't trigger it, and our automations trigger it instead of Twilio. But that's just like a bypass, you know. It doesn't mean it actually works.
What's the best way for us to handle this? Because I think we have, what is it, 92 or 100 something wholesalers. We just want to find out if they're still active or not.
Yeah, I would do it through email. Right, I would start with the email, and then if they don't respond to the email, let's say you send 2 emails and they don't respond, then yeah, then I'll use a text message saying, hey, by the way, I sent you 2 emails. Make sure you check your spam folder. Make sure, you know, you just want to make sure you got it. Are you still a wholesaler, right? So like you get them in the text message later, right? Not as your initial outreach. And again, like I wish, because back in the day, like let's say 3 years ago when I started, you know, getting into like text blasting, we could send 10,000, no problem. 10,000 text messages, no problem. It was not any issues with compliance whatsoever. But unfortunately, as time came by, you know, new rules, new laws, new regulation, you're forced to stay compliant. And if you don't, they shut you down immediately.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so they're just testing the email right now. I just responded, so we'll see what goes on. Yeah. Go back and make sure that get it back.
Okay.
So notice it says I responded. It doesn't say that I responded back yet. I think this might be the issue too. Just make sure your emails are set up correctly in here. So this right here, what is the hello email?
What? That's just an email that I have.
Okay, so I guess the question is this a email that's integrated into BILT, or is it just some admin email that you have in the system?
I think it is Stepping Stone Homes Agency.
I mean, I can check it out right now by going to your email services and probably not find it there, right?
I think it's with a different company.
Yeah, so that's also kind of a problem, right? It's like you're able to send out emails, but you're not able to receive them because it's actually being sent to your actual like 365 or G Suite now, and therefore the response is not coming in the system. And so your staff members, like, so this is correctly set up, right? So like this specific email right here is correct. You will actually receive it in the system. So Carol M is a marketing number, right? And then you have Stepping Homes AZ right here, Jennifer Coming Soon, right, is an admin number, not a marketing number, or email, sorry. And so it's like, is hello integrated inside the system? If I go to my email services, it's probably not, right? Just the way we do things and we teach it, right? So you only have one actual email inside your account that's integrated. And so if we're going to actually use the automation that we just built, we have to assign it to that user. So we can actually get the reply in the system. So this is why I try not to get into like building things too much the lives, but let's just do an assign to user. We'll do this again. Select the user. CRM's a marketing one. We'll save that. Let's go ahead and just push this guy out. It doesn't matter. It's gonna fail. It's gonna time out. But we'll test it one more time. Test workflow. Do that. Run test. Respond. All right, so I sent the email. Let's make sure I get it. All right, got it. Respond. Test back. So notice how I'm building this. Like the way I'm doing it is one step at a time, right? I'm not just going building the entire thing. I have to test one step at a time and make sure things are firing, make sure things are set up in the system. This is why we give tutorials on the thing we built, right? Ahead of time for you guys. So let's say right here, what happened? It actually responded and it said replied. What does that mean? It means that the automation fired correctly, even though there was a 2-day wait inside here. And so let's go back to the wholesalers, copy, right? So what was the respond here? Replied. So it's the same exact message. So it actually worked this time, right? So there are some prerequisites. You need to make sure it's assigned to a user, right? As far as the text messaging, I probably need to test it a little bit more. I haven't really used that for text messaging too much. I'll check it out for you to have an answer for tomorrow. But this is how I would honestly like start it out. You know, like use text messaging as a last resort. The last thing I want you guys coming to me literally a week later saying, "Hey Mo, I've been suspended on Twilio." I don't think anybody wants that, right? So let's stay compliant. Let's keep an eye on some stuff, but use this as a starting point. Like we know this stuff, the wait works and the email works. If you want to do 2 emails before your wait time, you can do so as well. Just make sure you're assigning users also before you do anything. And since this is a lot of people you're reaching out to, you probably want to equally distribute them across, let's say, multiple marketing users equally. You know, so again, you can only send 30 per day cold emails, so keep that in mind.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Mo.
What else you got?
Should I call you during the day about the calendars, or do you want to go over that?
Well, we can go over calendars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on my calendar, my partner was able to have her calendar load correctly. So when we actually go through and look on her calendar, it shows all the times correctly that are available. And I think we talked about this a while ago for my calendar too, but I thought we fixed it. When you look at my calendar to try to book something, it shows times that I'm unavailable. So we ended up switching to the email that's listed in BILT, and I was just going to basically change the calendar so that it would auto-populate my schedule so people can book correctly. But then when I did that, now I'm getting duplicates on my calendar, like duplicate appointments on my phone. So I'd like to figure out how I can create within BILT my calendar and have it correctly show my availability.
Right. Well, hold on one second. So first off, you're saying there's duplicates. Second of all, we're having an issue where yours is showing unavailable instead of available. Is that correct?
So yeah, when someone's booking for me.
Okay, so let's close this for a second. So right now, this is your calendar right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we open up your calendar. No. Okay, so it's available from 11 to 5:30 Thursday, 11 to 5:30, and it looks like there's
Yes, so it's trying to send, it's connected to the calendar that I use for BILT, like my login.
Mhm.
But I don't want, but I associate this calendar with a different Gmail account. So maybe that's the issue. I figured that might be the issue. So I had two options. One is to change the email associated with BILT, or
Well, this person right here, so Carol, right? Like it has a certain email integration, right? Maybe already set up. What email is set up to that? So staff, I might not be able to see it on my end unless I log in as you. But if I click edit,
that's it right
calendar
there.
configuration, so you have this calendar. Do you have that time blocked off the early morning? Because right now,
That calendar is full.
well,
Like all throughout the day, it's completely like there'd be very little availability through that calendar. But it's showing I have all this availability.
okay. Link calendar, conflicted calendar. Select the Google Calendar where you'd like to add new events. You get a lot of stuff in here. System appointments. Link calendar events. We need the two-way sync. That's what we need. Two-way sync.
And so we had two-way sync initially, and then something, it wasn't working when you and I were working on it before. So I think we took that off to do a one-way sync to see what happened.
Now let's just click that for a second. Like right here, you can see this is also gone. Was that prior the same way? All of these-
Okay, so. Oh,
So let's look at Friday. Let's look at Friday for a second on your calendar.
Friday. That is better. What's this? Almost. I'm gonna have a meeting at 2:30. Does that say 2:30?
Yeah, let me refresh.
I have a meeting at 2:30.
Yeah, there's a availability at 2:30, so that did not work. Now, question, right? Sometimes I mean, I know people, and I do this too, but we link multiple Google calendars to one email. Are you doing that? Because I noticed, like when I click this, all right, and I click on the edit, you have so many calendars on here. Are some of these from other emails? It looks like it.
Yeah, so evidently, yes, two of those are linked to that Gmail. I tried to unlink them, but I'm not sure why it's not working. So
You got to think about it. We can only communicate with one calendar, right? But you have 7 or looks like more, right, that are inactive, right? You know, so many emails inside of here. We can only communicate with one. So what you need to do on G Suite, since you're using G Suite, is make sure if anybody is booking on, let's say, the Real Training or the Family or, you know, whatever this Gmail account is, or Diamond, right? They need to actually include your main to Carol, you know, Osborne at gmail.com as an attendee in order to show the availability on the to Carol Osborne. So it blocks it off on our side because we're two-way syncing with this email only.
that's the email I want them to use. I don't want them to use any of the other ones that are down there.
Okay, correct, right? But what you're saying is, like right now, to Carol Osborne, right, has the ability of seeing the full calendar of all your emails, right?
Right.
If you just look at the calendar for to Carol Osborne, what does that look like? Simply just looking at that calendar.
That's a good question. I have to remove everything else.
Yeah.
Okay, it's still the same. That 1-2-30 appointment is on the actual to Carol Osborne calendar.
Okay. So this right here. So C Osborne dash
Hold on for a minute.
SSH.
I think I may have figured out something. Okay, scroll up a little bit. Yep. Okay, it's under LIH, so maybe that's what I need to do. Okay. I think I get what you're saying. Okay, perfect. I know the fix. I'll go fix it through Google or
Yeah.
Gmail.
I mean, Yeah, I know sometimes it can be complicated like this, but at the end of the day, it could only link to one. You know what I mean? As a point of reference. So
Okay. Yeah, and I thought it was, but I think it's within that To Carol Osborne account. I had multiple, I don't know, what is it? Not members, but groups within that. Anyway, I'm gonna fix it. I get it now. Thank you.
you're welcome. Cool. Anything else besides the calendars and the workflows, or everything else is running smoothly?
No, that's about it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Okay. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any questions? Whether you're on the Facebook, the YouTube, I don't even think I have the chat open. Funny. See if I can open it up. All right, so I don't think anybody's chatted over there. Wait. Facebook. Any questions inside here? Are we good to go for the day? We good? Okay, cool. So one last thing before we hop off. So once again, as usual, right? Like, yeah, if you wish, you guys can do more or want BILT to do more, right? Make sure you guys are looking at the idea section on our website. Again, it's a new thing. It's been going live for like 3 weeks now, right? We want to make sure we are utilizing this to the best of our ability, right? So make sure you go down to the bottom, click on the ideas board. I think my picture is in the way, but click on the ideas board right here, and go in and make sure you're filling out the features or any ideas that you guys wish we could do. This way we can help improve and make the system better for everyone. Okay. So make sure you guys are doing that. The same thing as well, right? If you guys enjoy us and you want us to continue doing these lives every single week, remember, education should be free, but at the same time, the only thing we ask for is you guys are liking our content, subscribing to our YouTube channel that's new. If you're on Facebook, make sure you're liking and sharing the content. And of course, if you're not a part of BILT and want to become a part of BILT, just make sure you go to BILTCRM.com, and therefore you'll be able to get signed up right away and get started sending LOIs out. In the meantime, guys, if you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to our support. We'll make sure we get to you within 15 minutes. So we take pride in our support, as well as if you need any assistance with me or whatever, don't hesitate to book a time on my calendar or book a demo on the website. But in the meantime, though, I will see you guys next week, unless you guys reach out to me.